One of the tricky things about woodworking is making sure that you keep track of your parts, especially when you're on a big, complicated build. So I'm going to take some time right now and make sure that all my parts are paired up properly before I start cutting grooves and shelf pin holes and all that. And I'll make sure that visible faces are the faces that I want, and the ugly faces are the ones that are hidden in between the seams. I'm building with this beautiful pre-finished maple hardwood that I got on sale because there is a slight error with the way the finish came out in some sections of the plywood. It's kind of hard to see on camera, but what I'm gonna do as I'm selecting pieces is make sure that these pieces with the bad finish area, it's really more of a texture than something visible, are going to be on the outsides of the cabinet boxes so that they wind up hidden in between the boxes when everything's assembled and installed. So we'll take a piece of tape here, put it down, and we'll label it bottom side 1, so I know that that's the bottom side panel. That's position 1, so that's going to be all the way on the left. Another match set here. I'm putting the tape with the labels on the outside of each one of these boxes so that when I run it over the table saw to cut the grooves, then the tape won't get stuck on the tabletop. So that'll just make my life a lot easier in a second. For these next pieces, I have to be careful because the top shelves are actually slightly different sizes. So I gotta make sure that I have the correct pieces lined up with the correct pieces. Otherwise, I'm gonna have a hard time assembling. So this is where labeling is really, really important when pieces are slightly different. So now I've got all the pieces labeled and stacked and organized with like pieces so that the carcasses are all gonna get cut grooves at the same time. So now I can go through and I can set up all my groove cuts, and then I know which pieces are gonna need shelf brackets, which ones are not gonna need shelf brackets, which ones I need to sand some of the finish off of, and all that. So taking the half hour to appropriately label everything really saves time in the long run. So now that everything's labeled, I'm gonna set up my table saw for the groove cut and get everything cut so that I can start assembling these carcasses.